This day thou shalt meditate on death, the consideration of which is very profitable to attain unto true wisdom, to beat down sin, and to excite men timely to cast up their accounts, which they are to make in the latter day. Consider first the uncertainty of that hour, wherein death is to seize upon thee. Thou knowest not the day, nor the place, nor the state wherein it shall find thee. Only thou believest that thou must die, for other things thou art wholly ignorant of, except that it sometimes setteth upon a man when he little dreameth of it, and thinketh it to be furthest of. Consider, secondly, that grievous separation, which shall be at the point of death, not only from everything of this present life, wherein thou lookest content, but also betwixt the soul and body, whose society was most ancient, most loving and dear. If a man taketh it grievously to be banished, to be thrust out of his native soil, how far more bitterly would he take that general exile, wherein he must be weaned from all worldly things, his house, his means, his father, his mother, his children, his friends, uncertain whither he himself must go. Consider also that anxiety wherewith the mind of the dying is tormented, when abstracted from all corporal business, he only thinketh what shall become of his body, and what shall betide his soul, how his body must be cast 7 foot into the earth, to be eaten of worms, and what will become of his soul. Where it is to remain, he is altogether uncertain. Another no less affliction followeth, that presently he must give a strict account of all his forepast life to the eternal Judge, which men of great sanctity were wont to fear. Then all the sins of a man's former life come rushing into his memory, representing themselves unto him, as it were in battle array, to destroy him. But especially his grievous sins, wherein he took greatest delight, are continually present to his fancy, which do so torment him that they drive him into a dangerous despair of his salvation, and the remembrance of those pleasures which before were grateful are now most bitter unto him. Wicked man, seeing himself environed with so many accusers, beginneth then to fear the success of his latter judgment, and to bewail himself with bitter outcries, O miserable and unhappy man, that have lived thus long in darkness, and walked in the footsteps of iniquity, what shall now become of me? From all these aforesaid circumstances, thou mayest gather with what anxiety a wicked man is oppressed at the hour of his departure. Then he will wish that he had led a better life, and what great austerity he would use if longer time might be permitted to him. Then would he vehemently implore the divine assistance, but the greatness of his infirmity and the pangs of death approaching will not suffer him, which will be so great that he shall scarce be able to turn his thoughts upon God. Behold, after these, the symptoms of this last infirmity, forerunners of death and harbingers of thy last end, which certainly in themselves are horrible, and to the beholders terrible. The stomach swelleth, the speech faileth, the feet begin to die, the knees wax cold, the nostrils fall, the eyes sink, the face waxeth pale, the tongue can no longer perform its office. But who is able to express the anguish of the soul, which is far greater? For then it is in a mighty agony, both in regard of the doubtful event of her salvation, and of the strict account she is presently to make of the deeds of her whole life, as also because she naturally loveth the body. She cannot be separated from it, but with great affliction, especially knowing not what shall become of her. Having well contemplated the soul departing the body, thou must yet make 2 journeys more, one in accompanying the body to the grave, the other in following the soul to the deciding of her cause. And thou shalt see the event of both. Mark, therefore, the dead carcass, how they prepare a winding sheet for it, what expedition they use to carry it out of the house. Consider the solemnity and rites wherewith it is carried to the grave. Leaving the body under the earth, accompany the soul, passing to a new and unknown region, where she expecteth the sentence of the eternal Judge. Imagine with thyself that thou art present at this tribunal, and the whole court of heaven, waiting with deep silence and great attention the event and sentence of this judgment. Here must be given a strict account of all receivings and disbursements, account of thy life, of thy goods, of thy family, of the divine inspirations, of the means and occasions to live well, and finally, of the blood of Jesus Christ, and the use of his sacraments. And according as this account is, so the sentence shall be pronounced.